Right now, we have a tiny minority of ultra-wealthy people trying to run this country like they own it, but we are far from powerless. You've probably never heard of the People's Rebellion in Massachusetts, 1774. It was the most successful popular uprising in our nation's history, according to the book Founding Myths by Ray Raphael. It was also the only popular American uprising to ever remove existing political authority, and it all happened without firing a shot. Now, contrary to what you probably learned from your grammar school textbooks, the American Revolution didn't really begin with the shot heard round the world at Lexington and Concord in April 1775. In fact, the revolution began quite a few months earlier when thousands of fed-up Massachusetts residents sent the Crown's representatives packing. You might remember learning about the Coercive Acts of 1774, also known as the Intolerable Acts, passed by the British Parliament to punish Massachusetts after the Boston Tea Party. Textbooks will often give some detail about the Boston Port Bill, which outlawed all commerce in and out of Boston, designed to starve rebellious Bostonians into submission. Less discussed in the modern retelling was the Massachusetts Government Act, which stripped residents in that colony of all political rights. Citizens in Massachusetts were barred from holding town meetings without permission of the Crown-appointed governor. Nor could they discuss anything at those meetings that the governor himself had not approved. Residents could no longer elect representatives to the upper house of the legislature and were stripped of any power to approve or remove judges, juries, or justices of the peace. 150 years of self-government in Massachusetts was set to end as the act took effect on August 1st, 1774. And yet it did not. On August 16th, the first court date under the new provisions, 1,500 patriots showed up at Great Barrington Courthouse to prevent Crown-appointed officials from going inside. In Springfield, Mass., 2 weeks later, 3,000 to 4,000 citizens armed only with staves and music forced the Crown's judges to renounce their commissions. Cambridge, Mass., 2 weeks after that, 4,000 people were there to force the lieutenant governor to resign. On September 6, 4,600 from 37 nearby communities gathered in tiny Worcester, a town of only 300 at that time. They lined the main street and forced Crown-appointed officials to walk a gauntlet 30 times in a ritual display of humiliation and submission as they renounced their positions. Patriots also shut down the Crown's government apparatus in Salem, Concord, Barnstable, Taunton, and Plymouth, every county seat outside of Boston. When the governor tried to arrest 7 in Salem for holding a town meeting, 3,000 farmers marched on the jail and set them free. Meanwhile, residents kept right on holding their town meetings all over Massachusetts in direct violation of the Massachusetts Government Act. As Raphael writes, in the late summer and early fall of 1774, patriots did not simply protest government, they overthrew it. And they did it all without firing a shot. This is the essence of majority rule. If the great majority of people are unhappy with what a small minority is doing, trying to suppress our rights to self-government, ignoring the democratic will of the people, nothing says we have to sit there and take it. As Raphael writes of 1774, this revolution involved no bloodshed, for resistance was unthinkable. The force of the people was so overwhelming that violence became unnecessary. Right now, we have a tiny minority of ultra-wealthy people trying to run this country like they own it. It's not an easy situation, but we are far from powerless. Who wants to tar and feather Jeff Bezos with me? Please give a like, follow, favorite, and subscribe to my free Substack, where you can get more detail in every post. What do you say? Let's make them pay.